I on?
Yes,
Honest
you
to goodness.
are.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Sorry, a couple seconds late. Yes. Welcome back, all my crafting cuties. I'm Suzanne Runyon. Let's hang out and have some fun tonight. I missed you all. First and foremost, I hope you liked our Thanksgiving edition. I taped that, and as I said, if you saw it, I am so grateful, you guys. I love when we can get together. And yes, we are live tonight. Yes, we did have to start a little early. I do have this on-air commitment that I do that they're kind of serious about. So I'm going on the air at 9 o'clock. So it's a little early. So I hope you all, we tried to post everywhere multiple times about the time change. So I hope you caught it. And if you're here right now, you definitely did catch it. If you're watching me now at 8 o'clock, I'll re-say hello and then you'll be mad because the show will be halfway over. So sorry about that. Anyway, how are you guys? Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a great one. How excited are we doing all this crafts and having fun? We just got a great show tonight. And this is something that in almost, well, I guess March will be 4 years, right? That we have never, ever, ever offered on this show tonight. So, and it's really, really cool. And many of you be familiar with it, but I'm gonna guess the vast majority of us have never really delved into this. So I want you to stick around because it's very unexpected what we're doing tonight. And you're gonna love our guest. She's so ridiculously talented. She's gonna be brand new in the show tonight, but she's in the UK and she's been on TV over there for a long time and she's unbelievably talented. So you're in for a real treat. All right, so if you're brand new, welcome. If you're a first timer, please put in the comments first timer, because I love doing shout outs to those of you who have never watched the show before. Also want to say hi to everybody on YouTube. Unfortunately, I can't see your comments, but we always love it because we're live on YouTube as well as Facebook. Now, what's the show all about? Well, it is extremely different than what we do on television. We actually take our time, believe it or not. I still talk fast, I can't help it, it's in my DNA. But we take our time and really walk through these amazing creative ideas. And it is worth recording this or going back and watching it again because you learn so many cool tips from my guest. And we both work at the same time on projects. So we've got a lot to show you tonight. But that's kind of the essence of the show. It's let's bring really cool crafting projects to you and crafting kits from HSN, but really take the time to explore them. The other thing that's of note is all the kits you see here at HSN are limited and bought specifically for tonight's show. So when you see our kits coming up, they are a very limited quantity we bring in and we launch them on Tuesday night, and when they sell out, they sell out. For example, a gazillion of you bought the foil, We Are Memory Keepers foil hot pens. Yes, I hope you guys have all enjoyed those from a couple weeks ago because they were so fabulous. They sold out, and I hope you grabbed them. We might have a few back in, I'm not sure, but they were hugely successful. So again, if you love what you see, never wait. And we'll show you ways to order in just a second. All right, so what I do next is I do shout outs. So if you are, again, new with the show, all of us hang out on a page called HSN Gets Crafty with Suzanne. That's me. And it's almost, what are we at? Do it 12,000?
Right at 12,000.
Are we at 12? Have we hit 12 or are we still 11 something?
I'll tell you 1 second.
Okay, drum roll. We're so close to hitting 12. Might get over 12,000 members tonight.
No, we're right at.
What is it? 11? Can you see the actual count?
No, it's
Oh, I should have looked. Well, we're getting close to 12,000 members of this group. And what I do is each week I will pick different projects that I see because I go on there all the time and I try to comment sometimes I like and love a lot. And when I see something I'm really inspired by and I want to share with you guys, I send it to DeWitt, who is my fabulous producer, who is going to come out. DeWitt, can I show your outfit?
Oh, absolutely.
We're kind of matchy tonight, actually.
It's not bad.
We did not coordinate this either. Here's DeWitt, my producer/director. There he is, always looking fabulous.
Hi, cuties.
Hello. Anyway, so DeWitt will actually post them for me in the show. So I feature projects that you guys have done that I was really inspired by and thought it'd be fun to share. So here we go. Let's see who this week of my Crafting Cuties is actually going to be featured. All right, we're starting off with Andrea. Now, I wanted to show you this one, our very first one, just because
This was the design for.
Yeah, because it's really exquisite. So what I appreciated about this so much was Andrea actually showed how she designed the basis of the card. Because once you see the card and you'll want to do it, I really want to thank her for actually showing and giving us all a template to work with. Ta-da! How incredible, isn't that great? How incredible is that, right? Like, that's gorgeous. So if you go back and look for Andrea's post, you actually can copy exactly what she did to make that. And I think that is pretty darn spectacular. Also, I will do some shout outs online too, guys. So sorry, I just jumped right into showing you some great examples. All right, this is Miss Carol. This one cracked me up. Okay, how stinking cute is this design. It is so cute. She said this week's project is a stove cupcake treat box. Like, hello, Katie, bar the door. She said there are many examples on the internet. So this is my version. It starts with a basic box, and then she used a die cut for the stove window, embellishments, dials, gemstones, jump rings, a button, a pearl. My first one, I'm so happy how it turned out. Well, congratulations. And you open a little stove, and a little cupcake comes out. Like, I just love it so much. I thought it was great. All right, Kay Diana is joining us. She did, this is beautiful. And because we just had Thanksgiving, I wanted to do a little homage. Okay, that is fabulous. That's all paper, y'all. Like, she did a Thanksgiving bouquet box card. It folds flat for mailing.
Wow.
Yeah, like she gets double, triple stars if that baby actually folds flat. I don't know how the daisy on the top folds. It might not be a daisy, but whatever it is.
Very careful.
That flower on the top with all the curves, I'm not quite sure how that folds. But anyway, folds flat. Can you believe it? I mean, that's really a marvel to be able to pull that one off. All right, then we have Rhonda, and she said, I made my first garden flag today. And I wanted to show this one because I like showing things that are very different. You know, it's not always cards, it's not always scrapbooking and things like that. But I loved this. And what she did, she made a garden flag. She did double-sided. She found blank flags that had a blackout between the layers so you could use both sides, which I thought was really important to realize. She said she was happy Thanksgiving. She used iron-on vinyl, mirrored images. She did shiny side down. All printed images, I used Cricut printable iron-on with the Cricut printable iron-on for dark setting. Loved how it turned out. Can't wait to make some more. So yes, great job. What a really clever idea. So thank you guys all. Now, if you would like to post your projects, and we have, oh my gosh, we have thousands of people who are posting all the time. There's always new stuff and new inspiration. So definitely join HSN Gets Crafty with yours truly, Suzanne. And then you can see and have access to all these really clever ideas because you really will be inspired. I'm always inspired by what you guys do because it's fantastic. All right, let me get some shout outs in real quick. People who are joining us, I always love to do the first person on. That's Miss Debbie joining us from Oregon. She says, hi to Suzanne and my crafting cuties. Gail says, happy Tuesday from Lumberton, North Carolina, which I know that where that's at. Christina, I made it. Yay, Christina. Lucretia is here. Hi, baby. She's joining us from Illinois. Vicky's joining us from Mississippi. We also have Carletta's back and Jessica's here from cold southern Illinois. Yeah, I got some pictures just today from Upper Michigan, and they have a coating of snow everywhere. It was actually quite beautiful, but I know it's got to be cold up there. We have Desiree. Hi, Suzanne and fellow crafting cuties from Pittsburgh. Coletta from Lawrence, Kansas. Welcome, Coletta. Patty's joining us from Iowa. Lori's joining us from Robert Lee, Texas. We have Vicky joining us from New York. We have Christina from New Jersey. Chris says hello from Cornersville, Indiana. We have Pamela from frigid South Georgia. Brr. Yeah, it's really funny. So I went out today because I play a ton of tennis. I'm very avid about it. And we played this morning at 9 a.m. in the morning. And you would have thought, the way we were all dressed, it was like 30 below. But it was like 57 degrees. But once it hits that down here in Florida, we're all like, ah. But the best part is I get to get my boots on. I get to get all my yummy clothes out. And I grew up in Ohio, so I love fall, winter dressing. I just don't like winter, but I love wearing the clothes from fall, winter dressing. So we're finally there. It's not so hot here. All right, we got Marcia joining us from Akron, Ohio. Speaking of Buckeyes, hey girl. We have Julie. Oh, just sad. Occasionally I will divert to football talk because it's something I also do a lot of here at HSN. I'm very sad for my Buckeyes. I love the people in Michigan. I love the state of Michigan. I hate the university. Okay, I'm just saying. Just little football talk there. Okay, get that one out. Julie says hi. She's from Sarasota. Yeah, Florida, right? It's getting a little chilly, Julie, didn't it? Marilyn's joining us. First timer from Ontario, Canada. Yay, I love it when people from elsewhere. Joan's joining us from Rogers City, Michigan. Antonia, she says, hi, I'm back. Hey, girl. Teresa's from Ludlow, Massachusetts. She goes burr as well. Christina, hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you did too. Kathy's joining us from the Hamptons. Do you know I've never been to the Hamptons, but I would love to go there someday. Lisa's joining us from Minnesota. Ooh, I know it's cold up there. We have Eileen joining us from Rockaway, New York. We have Kathy joining us. She says, hi, Crafting Cuties from Florida. We have audio has some problems, keeps going in and out. Lucretia's saying, and she joins us almost every time we're live, that the audio is going in and out. Lucretia, we will try to take a peek at it. I'll make sure my mic's not messing up. Let's see. Oh, Coletta says hi to it. Pamela's saying hello as well. Wanda says hello from Georgia. Antonia, such a cutie he is. Isn't he cute? He's adorable. Everybody's saying hello. Melanie, good evening. Suzanne and Crafting Cuties from Southern California. Precious is joining us from California as well. Bailey's joining us from New Orleans. I love New Orleans. Cynthia says hi from Virginia. Lynette says hi, everyone. Let's see. I think I'm in pretty good shape. Debbie from Texas. Darlene from Connecticut. Lucy from Florida. Hi, cuties. Gayla from Lynchburg, VA. We have Chris joining tonight, recovering from foot surgery. I get to watch. Well, I hope your surgery went well. Okay, I hope you're doing good. Teresa's joining us from here in Florida. Chris from Minnesota. We have Kimberly joining us from Walla Walla, Washington. I always remember Kimberly because of Walla Walla, Washington. We have Sheila joining us from South Carolina. Kathy from Cumberland, Maryland. Sylvie's joining us from Southern California. Yay, I made it home in time. Yay, you did, because I know it's early out there. So thanks for joining us. Helen, hi, Crafting Cuties from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lucy, me too, love the fall and winter clothing, but not the winter. I'm originally from New York. Yeah, Lucy, this is from up north. We love the clothes, just hate the weather, but we love wearing the clothes. All right, let's see. Jocelyn's joining us from Milwaukee. It's 19 degrees there. God bless you. We have Connie joining us from Tennessee. We have Tanis joining us from Crab Orchard, Kentucky. Hi, well, that's kind of cool. I bet you got about a bunch of apples there. Christy's to Clearwater, Florida. Lisa from Woodstown, New Jersey. Kristen from Raleigh, North Carolina. Love Raleigh, North Carolina, by the way. I have dear friends of mine live there. And my husband was based in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, which is right below Raleigh. So we spent a lot of time there. My friends live in Fuquay, Varina. That's quite the town and quite the name. And it's growing. Oh my gosh, that whole area out there, which used to be in the boonies, is like now just a part of Raleigh. All right, Vanessa's joining us from Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia. Love it. Kimberly, what part of Montana? I have no idea. Regina, the Villages in Florida, the Villages. Gayla, she's joining us. My video is skipping also. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're actually getting a pretty good signal. Yeah, I think we're okay, guys. So I know our end of the world is doing pretty good tonight. Melina from Milwaukee, Michelle from Montreal, Canada, another Canadian, hello. We have Nancy from Great Falls, Donna from Lexington, Inga's joining us from Virginia, it's 38 there, and Yolanda from Chicago, Illinois. All right, I'm getting that special finger that you only get from behind the scenes, and it's not the finger, to move on, because we got a lot to get to, and I know you guys are excited. All right, so let me show you what we're doing, all right? This is so cool. So we're gonna go to my overhead shot, and for the first time ever on the show, we are working with products from Katie Sue. So this is the first time we've offered Katie Sue. There's a ton of the stuff online at hsn.com, and these molds are so amazing. And Katie Sue is really well known for these incredible molds that they create. And so this is a collection. Now, here's what you're getting. Now, you all got to stick with me because we're going to work, and you're thinking, oh, is that for polymer clay? Well, we'll talk about that in a second. But tonight, we're actually using what's called Hardy Soft, which is available, which is really cool. It's very different from polymer, although you sort of mix and it acts like polymer. But again, my guest Heather's going to explain all of it. This stuff is really, really neat. And already I was taking my Spectrum Noir markers and colorizing it. But these molds are fantastic. So here's your options tonight. The main one we're going to feature is this group right here. So what you're getting is you're getting the miniature Christmas gingerbread, which makes the most adorable little gingerbread house. Can you see that? You gotta get in focus. Okay, I gotta go be down here. There. Well, you can't see it real close, but we'll try to fix that later. So there's the cute little gingerbread, and you get a gingerbread man and stars, and 2 gingerbread men and a little piece of candy and a star. And that includes this one, which is really gorgeous. This one's called Stylized Flowers. So you could do a poinsettia in here. I mean, you got a whole bunch of different flowers, greenery, make a wreath out of this, would be really neat. And then another option for you, just to show you this one, is called Elegant Butterflies, and those are some of the finished ones. So this is very different from polymer if you play with polymer before, but a little bit the same. But again, I'm going to have my expert explain all of that. If you want set number 1, it's $29.99. We have 3 flex pays of $10, and your item number is 1358168. Now, the ways to shop are you can use the scan code right there on the top of the screen, right there. Okay, I would never be a good weather person. There's the screen. Walk up to your phone, turn on your camera, it'll take you right to shopping for this. Or you can shop all the items if you look up and search HSN Gets Crafty on hsn.com right there in the front page. Then it will take you to all of tonight's items. And just remember, from this fabulous Katie Sue, we've got a ton more items online than we're going to be able to feature tonight in the show. So let me introduce you to Heather. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to get Heather on the air. So I got to give you a little scoop on Heather because she's a super versatile crafter. She's an artist. Oh my gosh, she's really a sculptor is what she is. I'm going to make take her show some of her polymer work. She specializes in polymer. I mean, she's just known for her incredible work with polymer, and she's now joined Katie Sue full-time, which congratulations to her. We're very excited about it. She does air drying clay, resin mold casting, card making, water painting, sculpting with polymer clay. She's just a remarkable artist. And okay, so here's what we're gonna do, Heather. I want you to hold your 2 cups up first, just to prove to everybody how good you are when I get to you. She's been spotted on the UK's Channel 5 TV show, The Wonderful World of Crafting. She's been spotlighted there many times. She's also a regular demonstrator with Katie Sue products on Create and Craft TV. She is joining us from her home in Hampshire, England. It is the wonderful, very talented Miss Heather Robertson. Hi, Heather. You're so cute. Look at that. Hold it up. I want everybody to see. Yeah, just a little bit talented. I told her, I said, Heather, your talent's way above my pay grade, because that is fabulous. But welcome. We're so excited to have you.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Hang on, Heather, one second. I am not hearing her at all. Hang on, Miss Heather. If you can hear me, wait 1 second.
Try now.
Okay, let's try it again, Heather. Okay, hello, welcome.
Hello. Can you hear me now? Let me check my mic.
Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear just fine.
Wait, I might pop them out, but then I won't be able to hear anybody. Hang on, Heather, sorry. You know what, Heather, let's do this, because you can hear me. You go ahead and start to explain what we're doing, and then I'll come back in just a second. So go.
All right. So I'm going to show you, hi, I'm Heather in Hampshire, England, in the UK. I'm about 40 miles southwest of London, just in case you're wondering where we are on the map. I'm going to show you how to use the Hearty Soft air dry clay today in conjunction with 2 of our Katie Sue Designs molds. These are manufactured in the UK, so we have complete control over the quality of these molds, and they are super cute. So I'll switch to an overhead camera shot in just a little bit so that you can see these up close, and I can show you a couple of finished products, and I can take you through what to do with clay when you get it, how to color the clay, how to dry it, how to paint it, what to do when things go wrong, and take it from there. So I'm going to switch to my overhead camera. I'm having to do this all manually, so I don't have a little switch. So let's just switch over. And that should work. There we go. So, okay. So talking about the Katie Sue molds, I'm just going to start with the stylized flowers to start with. Well, and the miniature Christmas gingerbread. They are food grade molds. So they're made from a high grade silicon, and they are tested that they are made in a food safe environment. So you can use this to not only make use them for your craft projects, but if you wanted to decorate cupcakes and cookies, for instance, you could do that. So here is a little cookie.
Oh God, that's cute. I can hear you now.
But
it's so cute.
But this is not a real cookie. This is a clay cookie. So if you wanted to, you could make cookies to go on your Christmas tree. Or if you wanted to do, if you wanted to make Christmas favors for the table, that kind of thing, you could make all your food craft items first, and then once your food products have been made, then you can use your mold craft. We always recommend that you have one for craft and one for food, because you don't know what, we can't guarantee what craft products you're going to put in there and whether they're food safe. But I mean, how cute is that? I mean, I'd love, if I was given a cookie like that, I'd be thrilled. So
you know, be funny.
You
know, be funny, Heather. I wouldn't eat the cookie. That's the problem.
You would or you wouldn't?
I would not. It's so cute. I'd want to keep it.
It's too cute.
Hey,
yeah,
Heather,
you know what? Well, I don't know. I'm a foodie. I like food. It wouldn't last long.
Heather, real quick, guys, I need to get a quick update. I have the wrong information on the price. A couple of you commented on it, and I appreciate it because you guys are all over it. The first kit that we're showing you is $39.99. So Agnes, I love you. Thank you for going online and double checking that. I do want to mention, if you want the butterflies, I'm hoping that's $18.99. We're going to double check that too if we can do it. And then finally, guys, if you want to get the soft clay that we're working with, and I know Heather's got a ton to show you, that's $16.95. So the other prices are all right. So Agnes, thank you. I apologize, guys. It is $39.99 if you want the big kit. Sorry, Heather, just want to make sure we got all the right information out to everybody.
No, that's always good. We've got to get it right. When I first started using Hearty Soft air dry clay, I thought it was like every other clay out there, and it's not. It's made from a really, really fine paper pulp and adhesive. It's a type of paper clay. It is super, super lightweight. I mean, you can testify to that. You've got it there in your hands there. It is this massive packet is 200 grams, which is 7 ounces. And that's quite a large size when you consider the weight of it. So you're getting quite a lot of product there, and you don't need to use very much. So what I would do when you first get the product, and when you first get the clay, take some out of the packet and leave it just to dry out just a little bit. It's an air dry product, so it will, you need it to, you don't want to leave it out too long. But when you first get it out the packet, excuse the crinkling, it's very, 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 very soft and wet and stringy. So that it's not like polymer where you need to condition it to get all the particles moving around inside, but you do want to just kind of warm it up and wake it up a little bit so the moisture's moved around. But if it's too wet, it might stick in your mold. Now, these are high-grade quality molds, so they release really easily. But if your clay is really wet and sticky, it will stick. So if you leave it outside, leave a piece out for about 10 minutes, you'll notice it's much firmer. It's not as stretchy, and it's much, much easier to mold. When you are working with the clay, because it's air dry, keep it under a closed container, a glass jar or something like that, or under a wet rag like I've got here. This just stops all the moisture from evaporating out while you're using it, because if you're like me, you get so involved in a project, you'll leave your clay on the side, and half an hour you go to get it, and it's drying out. This product dries really quickly, which is great.
Hey, Heather, can I ask you a question? Okay, let's say you've done exactly what I would probably do the same too. I left the package open, daggone it, this end is dry. Can you re-moisten it? Up to a point, yes. If it is completely dry, and you will know when it's completely dry, you can't really wet that back down. Okay. If it's starting to dry out and it's getting a little stiff, you can just wrap it in a wet towel like that and let the moisture reabsorb into it, and that will help. If the edges are just getting a little drier than the rest, just fold that back into the middle and then wrap that up, and the moisture will soak back into it. Okay, perfect. But if it completely dries out, say you've got a piece, that's completely dried out, you don't have to throw it away. Why not cut it up, use it as your foam pads? So put a little bit of glue on each side or tape on each side, and you've got foam pads ready to go. It's lightweight enough that you can do that. It's a paper product. You can also, if you've got different colors, grate it up, add it to your shaker cards, add it, colorful soil to your artificial plants, artificial pollen for your paper flowers, that kind of thing. The product doesn't have to go to waste. There are multiple ways of using it. I love that. That's awesome. Okay, a couple comments real quick. Let's see. Peggy says hi to everybody. Let's see. Oh, Lenine says, hello, been working most Tuesdays, finally made it to a live. Hi, Lenine, we're glad you're here. Agnes says, so cool to experiment with something new. It is. Carol says, love everything Diamond Press. Well, good little shout out for Diamond Press. Also, somebody in here said they were so excited. They love to work with molds. Let me see if I can find it. Coletta says, oh, I wanted to see this craft. And Lee said, love clay molds. So I just want to get a couple comments in. Miss Heather, I will throw it back to you.
Okay, no, that's great. Keep the comments coming. And if you've got questions, throw questions my way, because that's the joy of live events. You can ask those questions. And if I don't know, then, I can pop it in a comment in the chat later on when I find out. So
love it.
Just send those questions across. What I tend to do when I get a mold first time is I'll use a little bit of corn flour in the mold, and I just dust this all over the mold, and this just gets rid of any excess moisture in the mold, which will help release the clay. So depending on how humid an area you live in, the corn flour does help to release the clay. So I'm just going to pop too much clay in here. Press that in. It's actually starting to, you can see it starting wanting to come out of the mold. That's how well these release. And I'll show you what to do if it's bouncing out of the mold too much. I'll show you another way to sort that in a minute. And there's no special tools here. Your hands are your best tool that you have. So just use that. When you're molding a piece, do one piece at a time. Don't mold them all. It's not like resin where you can pour them all and then release them all. With air dry clay, do each piece at a time, because when it comes to releasing it from the mold, you want to flex that mold, and where your fingers are, you're going to squash pieces or bend and stretch pieces that you don't want to. So we've got hand holds around there which help you bend the mold, so they're really flexible and strong. And it pops out really, really easily.
That's awesome.
Now, when you put your piece out the mold, to help it dry faster, just pop that onto some paper towel and then just leave that to dry. And the paper towel will pull the moisture from the underside, and the air will dry it from the top. And then just after half an hour, just turn it over if you want to speed up the drying process, and you'll actually feel after a time you'll feel the paper towel will get quite damp from all the moisture coming out of that cast. So another tip is, if you find that the clay is not sticking in, especially with some of the thinner molds, ones that aren't so deep, take a little bit of white fat, which is Crisco or Trex. It's a vegetable fat, not an animal product, so it's not going to go rancid. But if you don't have that and you're just using it for craft, you can use a little bit of petroleum jelly or lip balm. That does exactly the same thing. So use what you have.
Oh, that's
and
great.
I'm just using the tiniest amount there. Now, what this does is it actually helps hold the clay in the mold. So it helps the clay to stick to the mold enough so that it's not going to keep bouncing out. And I don't know why I'm doing the same flower. One in the center. It's the one in the center. And if you find that you're wanting to really get into those corners, you can use a sculpting tool to push the clay into those edges or into those points, or you could use a ball stylus. That can work as well. It's basically, a tool is just a smaller version of your finger. So you don't have to have these tools, but sometimes I find they help. But just push and press the clay and pull it away from the edges as well. Give the mold a little flex to get the air underneath. So the air is what helps it release. and out it pops again. So this is what I love about these molds, is they are super, super strong. The silicon is of high enough grade that it's not too soft and it's not too firm. So it's soft enough that you can give it that flex, but it's firm enough to hold all that detail. So as you're pushing the clay into the mold, it's not distorting, which I think is absolutely brilliant. But at the moment, we're just using white clay. Now on the website, if you look up Hearty Soft Clay, you'll see it also comes in other colors. And I've got some of those here just so that you can see them. And they are much, much smaller packets. And the reason for this is we've got it in, 5 different colors on the website. So we've got the red, green, yellow, blue, and black. It's called clay, and it is clay, but it's more of a pigment. So they are highly, highly saturated. If I open up, I've got a packet of the blue here, just so that you can see it. Now I've sealed this packet up when I'm after I've used it. I've used some packing tape. It's an air dry product, so if air gets in, it's going to dry. So you want to keep the air out. But look how saturated that color is. It's so saturated that earlier on when I was looking at it, I actually stained my fingers with it. And a little bit goes a really, really long way. So I'm going to take some of the wetter clay here. Doesn't have to be, it can be the dry clay as well. And I just want you to see the gorgeous color this makes. So this is the blue, which is a bit of it's like your printer ink. It's a beautiful cyan blue. And just blend that together. And you get a lovely, lovely, rich, pale blue. But it's quite a vibrant blue as well. I mean, that is
gorgeous. That's really gorgeous.
I mean, if that was icing, I'd be worried about numbers with my kids. There's so much color there. And when you're finished coloring your clay, fold the packet back in on itself, and you'll see it's foil packets. So it's less likely to get the air inside with foil packets. So you fold it back on itself and make sure that all the air is out, and you seal that up. If you wanted to, you could wrap a damp towel. These are the kind of disposable dishcloths that you can buy. You can buy them on a roll or in sheets, but these are great because you can wrap that around your clay, pop that into a plastic container, an airtight container, and that will keep the moisture inside the container as well and keep your clay nice and fresh. But if you don't have the clay, the colored clay, there are other ways of coloring this. So if you wanted to, you could take your any ink pad that you have. So I'm going to I haven't tried this is a brand new Distress Oxide, so I'm going to try it with this and just see what happens. So I love experimenting. So I mean, that's quite a lot of color. So I'm just going to mix.
Okay, so we got a couple questions that
lovely seasonal color, spicy marmalade.
Miss Heather, really quick. Number one, well, yes, there are colors of clay, and does it come in different colors? And Heather just covered that one for you. People are asking, is it easier to use than polymer clay? Because I play with polymer, and I'd love you to explain your view on that, because you work extensively and have worked extensively in polymer clays.
I'd say it's definitely kinder on your hands. Yes. It's really, really soft clay, which is what I love about it. But it's different from polymer clay. It's got a different function. It's got a different use. And I'd say it's perfect for casting and molding. you can do very basic sculptures with it. It holds texture really well, but it is ultimately, it's more of a product used for molding and casting. And because it's so lightweight in comparison to polymer clay, I mean, it's feather light. I mean, if you compare, you know,
Yes.
similar size packets or similar size weights in product, you're going to get a lot more product for your money with the air dry clay.
Well, and I have to tell you what I thought was interesting when and this is the first time, you guys, I played with this, what I'm going to now call paper clay. And what I find really fascinating about it is in polymer, you got to work that stuff. I mean, you're like,
oh, so if you really condition it, yeah,
you do. I mean, you got to work it for all it's worth, right? What I love about this is you don't have to. For example, if you guys just saw, I did this baby little leaf right there, and all I did was take my Spectrum Noir markers, and I literally just painted. Well, you're doing it now. I just painted the color in, wrapped it up, and you can. For me, polymer is a whole lot more effort. So maybe you have some issues with the strength of your hands. Maybe, you know, you've had arthritic issues, or, you know, maybe you work with, for me, I tried polymer. I think it's fascinating. But I find this, I could do this all day long. Like, I am 100% into this. And just, I'll tell you what's really fun is just watching the different, images come out of the molds. That's what's hysterical. You go like this and you go, oh my gosh, look how cute that is. And then I'm just using my Spectrum Noir markers and I'm coloring them in.
Yeah, and that gingerbread house is just so cute.
So adorable.
I mean, the detail there is amazing. Just showing you very quickly here, I have used a watermarker pen for this purple, this pale lilac. I've used my oxide ink pad for this lovely orange, which is a perfect gingerbread color, and I'm using a little bit of gouache paint, or you could use acrylic paint, to color this piece. Now, when you are using other mediums to color your clay, your colors aren't going to be as saturated, so you can see they're quite pastel in color, whereas the blue is really vibrant, and that's because you're looking at quite concentrated pigments in the colored clay, and you're adding a like for like product. If you start adding too much paint or too much ink to your clay to color it that way to get that high intensity color, you're going to change the consistency of the clay. So you may need to let it dry out for a little bit before you use it, just to get some of that firmness back into the clay. Showing you different decorating methods. I'm just going to very quickly pop some clay into this gingerbread mold, because I have to mold this piece. So this is the piece that we just colored with the oxides. So funny. You can see how I'm putting it in. I start at the bottom. It doesn't matter that I've got too much clay there. I pop it in, and I'm pulling it away from the edges as I go. So I'm pushing it in the mold, working my way up, and then I can just slide off the excess of my thumb.
Okay.
And then you pull it away from the edges again. So then you're going to get that lovely crisp edge. You can flatten it on your surface, and it's not supposed to stick, but it is, because it's wet and because it's live.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have your cute little image. And I'm going to pop that on some paper towel.
Okay, so we got two more questions for you, and I also want to say, okay, Linda's saying, what about using food coloring? Does that work? And Betsy wants to know, can you put holes in this to sew it onto fabric?
Yes, you can. You can also cut it up as well. So I'm just going to take one of the flowers I've covered in. Actually, I'm going to get a different flower. I keep picking this one up. It's my favorite one. That's probably why. I'm going to just take a needle tool. It's a paper product, so you can punch holes in this. You could use some of your paper punches, depending on how thick your product is. You can cut it with scissors. You can cut it with a craft knife, and it cuts. Once the clay is dry, you can get a really, really clean cut with that. Really, really super clean cut. And I often cut bits and pieces that I want for my projects. Let me pop that one back, and let me grab. I just wanted to show you a couple of examples of what we can do with the flowers, just to break things up. So if you're not wanting to use much color, you can just stick to a really simple card.
Oh, that's pretty.
So here I've just used the white, nothing more than the white clay and a black felt tip marker.
That's fantastic.
And that's all I've used here. And these are just a couple of the molds, a couple of the pieces that are in our stylized flowers mold. And it's just a really, really simple card. So you don't need much for it to have that effect. And you could even have matching cookies to go with this.
Hey, by the way,
perfect for a cookie topper.
Oh, very cute. Myrna wants to know, it just air dries. She says she was a little bit late. So you just leave it out in the air and it's going to dry. But how quickly does it dry?
It depends on the piece. So a thin piece, and it also depends on the humidity of the air in the area, and how warm the area you are is. A piece like this, you'll be able to handle this in an hour, depending. I mean, it's already starting to dry. I can feel this firming up already. Just in the time that we've been on the show, it's still wet. It's still very, very flexible. But thicker pieces, I'd say leave overnight. Really deep pieces, for some of your really deep molds, I'd say leave 24 hours, because it's going to be dry on the outside but still wet on the inside. But it dries very, very quickly.
Okay, what I want to do real quick is explain one more thing to you, because I think it's really awesome about this. Remember, if you're working in polymer clays tend to be heavier, so they're heavy, and they weigh a lot. Like polymer, you've seen polymer clay jewelry. If they're a thicker piece, they're pretty heavy, right? What's neat about this, because it's paper, it's super light. So if you're going to add it to the card, like I did my butterfly, and Myrna, thank you for the compliment. She said, if I'm going to add it to my card, this is embossed. We've got embossing in the background. It doesn't add a ton of weight. It also, according to how thick you make it, these are relatively thin molds, it's not going to add too much depth to your card. But the effect is really cool. So if you're concerned about, if I made these same butterflies in polymer, I wouldn't easily be able to draw on them like I am. You can't do a lot of things that I think you can do with this easier, but it would make the card very heavy. This does not, because it's literally paper, so it's very, very light, and it's not going to add a lot of weight to your card. So a cool thing to do. I think this would be great, guys, if you're doing a frame for a Christmas gift. Like, let's say it's a wedding picture and you want to do florals all around the photo and do a deep set shadow box. That would be amazing, because again, you're getting this really cool texture and this really cool effect without a ton of added weight to it. I think that, to me, what makes this so cool. And I do want to mention, Heather, before I have to say goodbye to you, we have a ton of Katie Sue items on the online. Oh, Myrna did want to know, can you use food coloring in this? Would that work?
Yes. Yes,
okay,
you
so
can.
We're good there?
Just be aware of how much. Just be aware of how much you're using, because if you put too much in, like when you do coloring icing, if it's a liquid color, it's liquid, so it's going to make it stickier and wetter. So you're going to have to leave it to just dry out a little bit. Some of the gel colors won't be as wet in the clay, but yeah, absolutely.
Love it. Okay, so here's what I do, guys. Let me repeat what we're doing, and I'm going to say goodbye to Heather here in just a second, because we got to move on. I got something extra special as well.
Time goes so here's fast.
I know, it really does. Okay, guys, so don't forget, you're getting two choices. You are getting in the one that includes those amazing flowers and that adorable gingerbread. Like, how can you not try this, right? So that's one option, and that's the one that's $39.99. We do have 3 flex tonight. And then the other one is the butterfly. That's the one I was kind of playing around with. That's available, and the butterfly is, I think it's 18 and some change, so $18.99. And here's what I would do. If you're brand new, yes, you can get the colors online if you want, but if you just go for the white, and it's a huge pack, and you can see we're using just teeny little pieces of it, right? If you go for the white, you're going to be able to really experiment the most with it, especially if you're new. So you can try the acrylics, you can try all the different paints, you can try the marker technique that I did to create other colors for you. And then if you really love it, you can certainly go in and invest in those really bright, bold colors that we have online too, which mix in obviously beautifully, but I just want to think, I think if I were brand new, I'd probably start with just the white pack. That's available as well. Guys, you can find it all by typing at the top of hsn.com on the search engine. It's HSN Gets Crafty, and it'll take you to all these products that you see tonight. All right, Miss Heather, that was very, very quick. Can you put yourself back up on camera so we can see your beautiful face?
Yeah, I'm just doing that now.
There she is. Well, I am so tickled, and I can't thank you enough for spending time with us tonight. I hope you'll come back very, very soon, because I'm sure you have plenty of techniques to show us.
Well, I wanted to say, if you're wanting more techniques and you're wanting to learn more about the product, come and join me on the Katie Sue Designs, it's Katie Sue Craft Creations Facebook group.
Okay.
And we will post regular tutorials up there. That is my focus at the moment, is to teach everyone how to use this product, because it's amazing. But very important, if you're buying this, remember it's an air dry product. So when you get your clay, close it up, fold the packet in on itself like that, really tuck it in, get all that air out, fold it up and tape up the packet, because then you're going to save your product and it's going to be there for you when you need to use it next time.
I love it. All right, Heather, thank you once again. It was wonderful having you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Bye. Look at this, I'm so paranoid. I gotta find some tape because I don't want this to dry out. All right, guys, so we're gonna wrap up on that, but we kind of have something special that we're doing that we saved for you for tonight's show as well. And it actually is from our friends at Cricut. What they did was they created an awesome, awesome video. And it's featuring the Cricut Venture. The Cricut Venture we launched here maybe 4 months ago as a Today Special. It is the Big Daddy machine. And what they wanted to do for the show tonight is they created actually a 15-minute educational video for us specifically so you guys can see it. Now, a little heads up, if you go on to hsn.com right now and you look up all of our Cricut products, there's a ton that are on sale. So that's huge. And the ones I have on my list, which there's a bunch of them, I don't know if it's all Cricut products or just the ones I have on my list. Is all Cricut free shipping?
I think there's something, but yes, the ones you have are listed. Oh,
okay.
Free shipping?
Yes.
Yes.
So all Cricut items have free shipping?
We'll see.
Okay, no, we don't know. Okay. We think a lot of the Cricut, I know a lot of the Cricut items have free shipping right now, and a ton of them are on sale as well. So I want you to watch the video. Real quick, do I want to mention next week? Let's see. Where's my card? I lost my card on it.
Next week,
we're doing.
Next week.
Oh, next week. Next week's show, I'm going to feature something from Anna Griffin. And then the week after that is Lisa Horton Live, right? Yeah. So next week at Techniques Tuesday, you're going to love it. I hope you watch it. It's going to be taped. I'm sorry. It's all that scheduling stuff. But we'll still run it at 8 o'clock, and you can find it just like you found tonight's show. And then Lisa Horton's joining me live the week after that. So we've got a couple of fun weeks. But next week, I'm going to give you a whole thing from Anna Griffin in my Technique Tuesday. All right. Do I already go to the Cricut thing?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. And I'm very excited because we have Chelsea, who's going to take you through the next couple of minutes. I love you, my crafting cuties. Come join me at 9 o'clock? No, 9:30. I'll be on the air. All right, thanks, guys.
Happy holidays, Chelsea at Cricut here, and I am so excited to be back on HSN with our new wide format smart cutting machine, the Cricut Venture. Your big ideas just got bigger, and with the Venture Starter Bundle, your making options are endless. So not only are you going to get the new Cricut Venture Smart Cutting Machine, you're also going to get 2 rolls of our new 25-inch width Smart Vinyl, transfer tape, 2 rolls of the Smart Iron-On, 6 of our new poster-size permanent markers, 10 sheets of our new and very popular poster-size cardstock, and a 24-inch by 28-inch performance light grip machine mat. But it's the holidays, so let's get to the fun part and start making some projects. Like I said, your big ideas just got bigger, and with the Cricut Venture, you can now make really big projects in no time. So we're gonna make this really fun vinyl sign for my family's cabin, and the Cricut Venture is gonna help me do that seamlessly. So the first thing that you're gonna notice about the machine is this beautiful and innovative 45-degree design. We wanted to make it so that it was a machine that was not only pretty in your home, but that it fit as many people's making spaces as possible. So you're also gonna notice that unlike our other smart cutting machines, we're going to load our material from the back of the machine instead of the front of the machine. And this is all part of how we put that space-saving design into the machine. So we are using our new 25-inch smart vinyl. And when you're using smart materials, the great thing is you don't have to worry about putting it on a mat. You just load and you go. So in addition to being able to save time without having to load it onto a mat, this machine is also cutting at up to 25.4 inches per second. It is incredible speeds and it is incredible to watch. So when you're using this 25-inch smart material, you are also getting the full 24-inch wide cutting area. And when we are cutting a big image like this, you can cut a single image up to 12 feet. So it's one thing to cut a really big vinyl project, but how the heck do you actually transfer it to your base? So if you're not familiar with it, we are using the hinge method here. So basically what I've done is I've taken a piece of masking tape and I put a little bit on the top and a little bit on the bottom. And I've just simply laid my design still on the transfer tape backer down onto my base. So I'm going to peel back half of it, basically until I get to my tape marks. And then I'm gonna go in and I'm going to trim off my transfer tape backer. Okay. So once we've trimmed the backer off of our transfer tape, I'm now just basically going to apply one side at a time, which is just gonna make it so much easier for me to make sure that I'm getting a straight design and I'm not getting a bunch of bubbles trying to transfer the whole thing at one time. So then you would proceed and do the other half and you end up with a really big, beautiful vinyl sign like this. So there's so many different things that you can do with this, from big home signs to maybe something for someone you know, a small business, or a beautiful piece of wall decor. But the Cricut Venture makes it so easy to make really big projects. Okay, so Christmas is right around the corner, so I'm going to show you how we can take a pretty boring canvas bag and make it really fun and create this project for a big Santa gift bag. So I have a 2-year-old named Blakely, and I think that this is just the perfect thing. So again, we're gonna use our new 25-inch wide smart iron-on material. And you're gonna notice again that we're gonna load it from the back of the machine, and regardless of how far you load the material into the machine, it takes all of the guesswork out of it. It's going to perfectly measure and only take the amount of material you need, so we have very limited waste. So I'm using the docking stand with the Cricut Venture here, which has a roll holder built onto it. However, if you do not have the docking stand, which you don't need, your machine is going to come with these included roll supports in your box so that you can have your giant roll of material in a place and it's not kind of going all over the place. So like all of our smart cutting machines, the Cricut Venture works with Design Space so that you can design your projects in there, you can find ready to make projects, and it's going to tell your machine exactly what it wants to cut. So one of the other things I just love about this machine is the included cutoff tool that fits perfectly in the back pocket, and it goes right into the groove on the front of the machine to perfectly trim your material once your cut is finished so that you start and you end every single project with a super straight edge. So I have already pre-pressed this bag and I just absolutely love how it turned out. I think it's going to be so much fun to put Blakely's gifts in this under the tree. But there are also so many other fun things you can do when you make really big smart iron-on projects. So we've made this really fun and beautiful menorah flag for the wall with our smart iron-on, and we've cut felt with the Cricut Venture where you can add the flames each day during Hanukkah. So it's just so much fun. I love with the Cricut Venture, I can make really big projects, and the only thing that limits me is my own creativity. So the Cricut Venture also cuts over 100 different materials. So it cuts your really popular ones like vinyl and iron-on, which I've showed you, but it also cuts some specialty materials. So it's going to cut things like leather. It's going to be able to cut infusible ink transfer sheets. You can cut poster board. There's so much that you can do with this machine. Around the holidays, if you have small kids in your life, it's really fun to make a Christmas countdown or an advent calendar. So we're going to make a Christmas tree advent calendar using our new poster size cardstock. So with the 45-degree angle on this machine, one of the most innovative features is the mat supports. So you might be wondering, how the heck do you actually cut on a machine mat when this is at an angle? Well, these mat supports pop right out, and then inside the machine is a vacuum that helps hold the mat flush against the machine, basically defying gravity. So in addition to being able to cut, the Cricut Venture can also draw, write, score, and foil. So we are going to use the new poster-sized permanent markers that you get in the bundle, and we are going to make this really fun countdown advent calendar for some kids. So again, Design Space is so great because it's going to tell us exactly what we need to do step by step on the matte screen in Design Space. So we've loaded our pen, and you can see it is so fun to watch this machine write because it is still working at those speeds up to 25.4 inches per second. So it's not just the speeds that you get when you're cutting, but you're also going to get those really great speeds when you're writing, when you're drawing, when you're foiling, and when you're cutting on a mat. So it has been so much fun to see our members in Design Space creating really big poster projects. So you can think of welcome home posters, sports posters, but we have 8 million members, and they have filled our Design Space with so much inspiration on how they're being creative. So essentially, we already have one of these Christmas trees that's been pre-cut, and we've cut our numbers in other colors of cardstock. So you have your countdown with the final 1 day left being the star at the top of the tree and your countdown down below. But you can make so many really, really fun, large cardstock projects with the Cricut Venture. The very fact that we were able to make this giant sized gingerbread house using cardstock is something that we would have never been able to do before Cricut Venture. So imagine making all of your own holiday decor for your parties and just around the house on the holiday season with the passion that you already love of making and being able to do it with your new Cricut Venture. So I love making cardstock projects, and I know a lot of you in our Cricut community also love making cardstock projects. So we're going to make another one. So we are going to use the white poster-sized cardstock that comes in this amazing bundle, and we're going to make a really fun paper wreath. So again, Design Space is going to tell us exactly what we need to do and the order that we need to do it, because this is a totally different process from what you're used to on a front-loading machine. So we're going to load our machine mat in there, and you're going to notice again that we're using a different machine mat than what we normally use. We had to build these performance machine mats that were built to withstand these incredible speeds that the Cricut Venture works at. So if you put another mat in the machine, it's not going to work because it can't keep up with these incredible speeds. So Design Space has been so much fun as Cricut Ventures come out, and all of our members have truly inspired me so much. So this wreath that we're making is actually inspired by one of you out there in Design Space. So the machine's cutting it right now, but we've already kind of pre-started one. And we not only use the cutting tool, but we are going to use that scoring feature on Cricut Venture. So we've already cut some of these out, and I'm just going to, kind of finish making the final touches on this. But it has just been so much fun to see all of the ways that everyone is inspiring each other in Cricut Design Space. It's so magical that it's not just a software that we use to create our designs and cut our images. I really love that it has that community feeling to it, and that not only can I find projects that the Cricut team has made and added to Design Space, but I can find projects that other people just like me have added and created and added into Cricut Design Space. So I would just go ahead and finish this wreath, but we're limited on time. So here's the final project over here next to our incredible gingerbread house. But we have seen so many incredible things. We've seen giant 3D nutcrackers. Think about maybe creating an entire Christmas village out of cardstock using this machine. We've also seen people making oversized birthday cards for others. So the opportunities are really endless, and being able to achieve this with the poster-sized cardstock in the bundle is just so much fun. Nothing says the holidays quite like matching Christmas pajamas. So let's make some matching Christmas pajamas with the Cricut Venture. So I've showed you how awesome it is for making really big projects, but it is incredible for batching projects because you are getting those incredible speeds of up to 25.4 inches per second. Plus, when you're cutting repeated cuts, you're still going to get that 24 inches wide, but you can get repeated cuts up to 75 feet. So it is truly incredible. So this machine is also adjustable. So you can use the new 25-inch smart materials, but you can also adjust the machine to use the 13-inch smart materials that you may already already have on hand, or there's color options that we have in the 13-inch size that you want to use. So this is so great about this machine. If you're making a ton of batching projects, you can use a 25-inch material, but maybe you're making only a few with a color that we only have in 13-inch. You can do that with the adjustability of the pinch rollers on the machine. So that is really, really fun, and I love it. So this machine, especially if you're maybe running a small business with your Cricut, is so great because working at those incredible speeds, plus being able to do repeated cuts up to 75 feet, is just going to make it so that you are so much more productive in creating your projects for your small business. So again, Design Space will tell you exactly what you need to do to adjust your machine, so you don't need to worry about that or feel intimidated if you might miss a step. It will remind you that you've missed a step. It's the holidays, and Design Space is kind of like your personal assistant. It'll remind you when you've messed up, and it'll have you fix it. So I have already cut several of these, started weeding it, but basically you're gonna take your pre-cut design, and it is just so fast to be able to make Christmas jammies for the entire family. We've already pressed all of these, but it is so fast to be able to do. I'm that team mom that has always been the one making hoodies and t-shirts for baseball and football and softball. And it used to be such a heavy lift when I was using my 12-inch cutting machine. And now with the Cricut Venture, it is just so quick to do. In fact, this year when a coach that wasn't my daughter's asked me to do it for their team, I had no problem saying yes because it was so quick. But there's so many ways that you can batch your iron-on design. So aside from just like t-shirts and sweatshirts, these bags are so fun for like 12 days of Christmas, maybe for Hanukkah. If you have a really big family and you want to make stockings for everyone, so easy and quick to do that with the Cricut Venture, and everyone can have a personalized stocking special on Christmas Day. Okay, let's make one more project, another batching project to get you inspired. So it's the holidays. There are so many parties and dinners that we go to, and nothing quite says hostess like the mostess than customize glasses for your friends and family that attend your party. So again, depending on how many people you're going to make glasses for your party or the color that you want to use, you can adjust your Cricut Venture machine to use the 25-inch width smart material or the 13-inch width smart material. You can even take colors that we don't have in smart materials and load them on a mat. You're still going to get those really incredible speeds of up to 25.4 inches per second. So basically I've gone ahead and weeded my design and we're just going to quickly put them on all of our cups. We've already applied transfer tape to these ones and put them on our cups. There are so many fun vinyl projects I can think of for the holidays to make for teachers and neighbors. These boxes are so much fun. You can put little gifts in them. Always making mugs is fun. And of course you can make glasses for everyone that's attending your party, tumblers for your nieces and nephews. But there is just so much you can do. And Christmas is a crazy time, so being able to use Cricut Venture so that I can make all my holiday gifts in less time is just amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. I had so much fun making these holiday projects today and telling you all about the Cricut Venture. Get yourself the ultimate holiday gift this season and invest in your passion or your small business with the Venture Starter Bundle. Happy holidays.
All right, cuties. Suzanne had to run to that other gig she talks about sometime on the live show, but I just want to thank you all for joining us, to thank our guest Heather and Chelsea from Cricut for recording that special demo for us. This past Thanksgiving, I just had to say to all my family, I'm very thankful for this community, and you just truly make this night and every Tuesday very special. So forgive the moment of blank space while I run back behind the computer and end the show. Have a good night, Crafting Cuties.